Now, though, this is lovely. Thursday afternoon. A top migration expert, former MEP, good friend of the show, Steven Woolfe. A very good afternoon, sir. How are you?
I'm great. I'm really good. How are you?
I'm all right. I'm not bad for a balding 60-year-old has-been, but I'm not going to get too deep into this tariff thing. I agree with Ben Habib. Sorry, I really agree with Ben Habib. Donald Trump is putting America first. Would I not love a prime minister who would say, I'll tell you what, let's not bitch and moan. Let's get our heads down. Let's make more goods that are successful and attractive and we can sell in the United Kingdom. Let's patent stuff. Let's employ people. Let's get back to work. Let's do what we did and lead like the Industrial Revolution. Let's prove to the world that we're not the poodle of America and we can be successful.
With that sort of energy, Jeremy, I'd love to see you in the cabinet with Ben, and I'll be joining you trying to deal with the home office immigration issues, because that's exactly what this country needs. It needs the passion, it needs the love of the nation, it needs to understand that we've got to reduce taxes, reduce the pressures on employers, improve training with our apprenticeship schemes, but making them effective, not defective as many of them are now. And let's look at our education system by pumping it into the right areas, removing the dogma of the programs that we're seeing adolescents, and really start looking at our adolescents with the skills and knowledge that they have. And that's the future then.
I almost feel like this country, this is sort of mini rant, but I don't mean it like that, but I almost feel that this country is down on itself because it's led by politicians, and I include the Tories, who are so ideologically based. I desperately crave a politician with warts and all who's got conviction, a person who's got a vision, who the public go, do you know what, you're worth a try. And they take you on that journey, and there might be good moments and bad moments, but puts the country first. I don't see that. I keep saying this. I see politicians who don't open their traps until a focus group has told them how that is going to be, received, what criticism they're going to get. There has to be, we hear about, schools are taught, you mustn't be disrespectful. There's 3-year-old toddlers being thrown out because they've been disrespectful to transgender people. What at 3? We've got Al-Qaeda terrorists being released because let's look after the perpetrators of crime, not the victims. There's all this crap going on, with the greatest of respect. And I think it brings people down. I think that everybody's on a bit of a downer about the United Kingdom. Tim Sire from Suffolk, just as we're speaking. Jez, I'm listening about tariffs and trade. It seems that the UK needs to rewind to 1760 in the Industrial Revolution, where we led the industrial world and made all we needed ourselves, and the world was jealous. Wouldn't you love to be in that place again with a leader who actually said that? Now, maybe the cynics will go, Jez, that's not possible. But it'd be nice to instill a little bit of belief in people, Steve, wouldn't it?
Well, it would be, and we've had kings and leaders, both political and those on a spiritual level, that have actually believed in this nation. You look at the period of 1700s, that was led by kings that decided that we needed to expand across the globe. But prior to that, they decided they'd build a navy. The navy was the way to improve our trade. Now, we know that in this modern world, we need to have low energy costs. We need to invest in infrastructure related to technology, AI, which means building great cloud computing, having semiconductor factories brought here, but they also require huge amounts of energy. So why do we have an energy policy that is about increasing the cost of this nation through wind farms, whilst reducing, as you quite rightly said only 15 minutes ago, about reducing our farms because it's a land grab, not actually a food production line that they want. And it's that sort of leadership that has joined up thinking, but has the passion to believe that our farmers can produce the food, our scientists can produce the energy, produce the products, and those who are behind it are producing the energy and the expertise to sell abroad. Doing that together with a cabinet that's joined at the hip, working together for Britain, would be excessively successful.
Jeff says British policies over the years have been could have, should have and would have. I couldn't agree more. Let's talk about your expertise is migration and economic prosperity, or lack of it. Glasgow City Council's broken ground today. They've warned that the asylum system is putting strain on the city and impacting on social cohesion. Who knew? Well done, Glasgow. It's the largest dispersal area for asylum seekers in the UK after London, and right now nearly 4,000 people have been sent by the Home Office while their applications are processed. protest. Many in emergency housing. Since February this year, another 1,000 people have been placed in Glasgow from other parts of the UK looking for homelessness support. The council says it's about time we were honest. It's stretching resources unbelievably, and very soon our city will become unsustainable. So all those people in Glasgow have paid their stamp and are desperately in need of help from their council, their government. They're getting nothing because migrants are being taken to Glasgow and stretching still further what's available, which isn't very good. That will be in every city in the United Kingdom soon, won't it?
Certainly is already, and we know that it happens in Newcastle. Birmingham only 18 months ago said to the government, we're not going to accept anymore because we're overstretched as well. But when I look at Glasgow and I look at Scotland, I actually say you are now reaping what you sow, because under the SNP, they stated that we were a migrants welcome nation. Under Glasgow, that said that we will be part of the dispersal programme with the government. We'll take them in as much as we can. And if you look at the council tax rises, Glasgow is one of the highest when you look at what's going to impact those constituents in the future because of their decisions that they made, rather than push back against the ideology that all immigration is great, all immigration is economically beneficial. If it was economically beneficial, they would be welcoming in more and more and more to make that part of Scotland extremely wealthy. They now know it's the opposite. It's a drain on resources. Housing is taken away from local constituents. Healthcare is reduced. Yeah. And you also see that the local people are put at the back of the queue, as we've got so many examples now. And when it comes to crime, we already know crime is rising in Scotland too, in those areas.
It's really interesting, isn't it? Because that sort of sentence, that sort of paragraph you just delivered, 10 years ago, people would have been, oh my God, this is abhorrent. No, it's not. It's absolutely true. If you continue, people don't like the word flood. If you continue to allow millions of people to come to your country who are not escaping war, the Ukrainians' different story. I say it every day because there was a very good reason for us to support those people. But this country is a haven for people. It's become a haven. There's so many loopholes. We give away far too much. But I will say this until they drag me from this studio. I'm sort of all right with that if we were on top of the world, but we're skint. We're struggling and we're skint. And Glasgow, look what happened in Germany very quickly. They opened the doors and they suddenly can't afford to do anything. And that is exactly the same. And I feel that it will be exactly the same across the rest of the United Kingdom. Steve, it's always a pleasure, mate. I could talk to you all day. Stephen, thank you. Steven Woolfe, former MEP.